welcome to BC episodes number 10. This episode we're talking about more flavoured gins. We did I think the very first episode for BC Spirits was flavoured gin, so I thought, well, why not? Let's crack out some more flavoured gins. In front of me I have 7 gins from BC to taste. Obviously BC, this is BC Spirits. First off the ranks, the Queensborough, get in the shot, Queensboro Omakase Japanese style gin. So, very similar to the Kazuki we tasted a couple of months ago from Sheringham. Soshu peppers, yuzu, cherry blossoms, and Japanese tea are used in the mix, amongst other things. Oh. On the nose, straight away, that yuzu peel just comes through so elegantly. On the palate, bright and sweet. Yuzu peel. Then the floral tones of the cherry blossom. And then finishing with a very tannic finish of the Japanese tea. Classic gin and tonic gin. I think the great thing with Western gins, especially BC gins, is that they don't fit into any category traditionally. They're not going to take away from your tank 10s or anything like that. But they have a place, and when you find that special tonic or that special cocktail that goes with them, just makes it sing. Next up, brand new distillery out of Gibson's called 1 Foot Crow. The gin we're tasting from them today, we're actually tasting 2 from them today because they sent a couple of bottles. Got the Lavender gin. Now, Lavender gin is obviously a lavender infused gin. Lavender can be very, very deadly. Can go from 0 to 60, can be very soapy. On the nose, ooh, there's some funky grains there. Classic gin, like juniper forward nose. The lavender finishes on the nose quite high and bright. On the palate, the lavender is very different. The lavender is a very broad spectrum, polarizing flavor profiles from the very fresh, almost fresh picked lavender flowers through dried lavender flowers, and then finishing all the way down at like the stalks, the woody element stalks. It gives a nice tannic background, and everything in between. So it's beautiful, like deep lavender wood all the way through to fresh lavender flowers. Fantastic. Play around with your vermouths. Corpse Reviver number 2 might be a good play for this one. Lavender White Lady. Well, or Lavender Bee's Knees. There you go. Lavender Bee's Knees. Try that out. Next up, we have some from the Moon series from Legends. The Silver Moon, which is Wild Sage. Obviously, you can see why I'm tasting this one straight off the lavender. More sage forward than the other ones, but if you remember tasting the roasted rosemary, the Black Moon from these guys, you can remember that it was full on like the infusion forward. Once you get through the sage on the second smell, you definitely get more of the gin base. Oh. I'm not a huge fan of like too much sage. I think sage can be overpowering, but this is all herb garden, especially back to back with the lavender gin. It's all like running through a herb garden, just putting your hands through the lavender and the rosemary and the sage bushes and stuff like that. Oh. Yeah. Gin forward, then the sage on top. Play around with a tall drink, gin and tonic-esque, maybe a little shrub or a little syrup in there. Play around with your tonics, maybe cucumber and mint tonic from Phillips there. Nice little pairing up there. So next up, this one I'm very curious about. This is the 1 Foot Crow mineral-infused gunpowder gin. Now, there's not too much about this one, but it's super peppery. Oh my goodness. Black as sin. Like, the bottle's not black, the actual gin is black. On the nose, mineral infused is right. I'm very curious about this one. Funky, wet stone, wet concrete, rainfall. Oh, this is a ballsy, don't fuck with your sort of gin. Intense peppers, but not like spicy pepper, like flavor pepper, like capsicum, that sort of thing. That mineral is just intense and deep and just keeps going on forever and ever. Oh my god. This is something I've never tasted before, but in a fantastic way. Deep, dark, rich, but all the botanicals there are still playing really nicely with it. Balanced and fantastic. This one I'm stumped about how I would use it, but I would start applying it with the usual stuff. Like I would do a gin tonic, see how that sort of rolled out. It'd be black, it'd be crazy. But that's where I'd start with that one. That one is definitely evocative. It's very interesting. Just pour myself a little bit of water, because that one's just a beast in your mouth. This is like nothing I've ever tasted before. I always enjoy that. Next up, this is going to cool my palate. It's the Harvest Moon from Legends. This one has locally sourced and foraged berries. Let me have a look here. Oh, it doesn't actually say which ones they are. But locally sourced and foraged berries from around the distillery. The guys over at Legends do a great job at that. They work so hard with their forages that are locally found. Another non-clear gin, which will lead up to something special. On the nose, just berry forward, just bang, berries. Oh. Skins, pits, literally like squeezing a blackberry or a blueberry in your hand and then smelling it and tasting it. Like that amalgamation of absolutely everything. No, not a huge amount of residual sugar. It's still pretty dry, pretty gin forward. You could probably change this up for anything that has slow gin in it. Definitely slow gin sort of esque flavor profile without the sweetness. You've definitely got that cut straight through of the gin at the very finish. It's very, very dry, very, very herbal, botanical forward. But this is fantastic compared to like these 4 gins, or actually all 5 gins so far. Like Omakase, fresh and clean. Lavender is very lavender, and the sage is very herb garden. This mineral infused gunpowder gin is just mind blowingly insane. Then you got this beautiful sweet fruit of the Legends, Harvest Moon, fantastic. Okay, so next up, we got something that probably everybody should know by about now. If you follow BC Spirits, and I'm not meaning my podcast or the website or anything, pretty much everybody should know this. This is one of the most popular gins, I would say, in BC right now. It's available everywhere in the US. It was, I'm going to say, one of the first. Is the Empress 1908 from Victoria Spirits. This is their pea flower infused gin. So still rocking out at 42.5%, so it hasn't been sweetened or cut. It's infused with pea flowers. Now pea flowers change with acid. Unfortunately, I don't have any acid just with me. And I'm colorblind. So it doubles down on me not being able to tell. So it's a beautiful, like I think a purpley blue color. Like I said, colorblind. But when you add acid, it changes color, which is the big cool thing that pea flowers have. Now, really, it's not a flavored gin per se, but it is a fun gin that I wanted to sort of explore with the flavored gin section. On the nose, classic Victoria gin. Like really classic London Dry style, like gin. It's like a London Dry style, just with a whiff of the Western style gins. On the palate, the pea flower comes through a little bit more, that more floral tone, a little bit more textural. But boy, just go and go, and the citrus peel comes through and it peels back layer upon layer upon layer and just keeps going. And as one of the original pea flower gins, I give you full praise for that. But next up we have a contender. And Rocky always had contenders, so you always got to have a contender. I got a feeling this is going to be the Dolph Lundgren. So, there's always room on the market for more than one thing. And this is the more than one thing. So, Arbutus's Blue Gin. It's pea flower as well. They've tweaked their gin a little bit. Lemon verbena, hops, lavender, a few other things. Great colour as well. Let me see, pour a little bit more of the Victoria. So you can see the sort of differences. Not sure if you can see that on camera. I can't really tell the difference. This one's probably a little bit darker. On the nose, freaking all the way Arbutus gin. Arbutus gin all the way on this one. You can tell straight away that it's an Arbutus product. A little bit more floral, and that lemon verbena and the sort of high tone green citrus tones come through. Oh, it's perfect. A little bit more floral tones to the gin other than the usual empiric that they do. But the blue gin, it is both very, very similar. Go back to Victoria. Picking up more orange this time around. This is crazy. We have two pea flower gins, both from the island, competing for the same portion of market. Victoria Spirits is available everywhere in the US. It's insane how popular it has been. Congratulations to the guys at Victoria Spirits. They've done a phenomenal job at marketing in the US. Arbutus is a small little distillery in Nanaimo. I love what those guys do up there. Mike and the boys just kill it. And if you're ever driving through Nanaimo and go to their lounge is an insane cocktail program. But the Blue Gin stands alone as a definite contender against the Victoria Empress 1908. So go find a bottle if you want to do side-by-side comparisons. So we've tasted through 7 flavoured gins from BC. And again, I think I said it at the end of every episode, I'm just floored with what's available in BC and all the things that you can get and all the different flavour profiles and the changes and the wonderfulness that is in BC. It's just crazy. But to finish this off, go out and drink BC Spirits, find some nice tonics, have a gin and tonic, make some cocktails. I hope that you get something out of these episodes. I really enjoy doing them. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you to all the distilleries that are opening up in BC. I crave everything that you're making in such an interestingly soulful way. And I can't wait to taste through everything for every week and have episodes every week for the people who are watching. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for however you take in my medium. I appreciate it immensely. I will see you next week. I think I'm going to be doing lemon and orange next week, so keep an eye out for that. I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.